Shrouding the Heavens Episode 98. This was Yifan's first tomb raid. Do you know what earth-shattering things he did? Why did the holy sons and holy maidens of the major sacred lands not dare to provoke him? Let's transform the world. Back in the original story, after Wang Dong, the little broken king in Jinjin, everyone panicked. Yao Guang, the holy son, entered the divine body. The disciples of the unique shouting sect, not willing to fall behind, all flashed into the underground palace. They fought a great battle with the people. There were shouts of killing everywhere, and the battle was extremely fierce. I don't know how many cultivators died. Seeing this, many low-level cultivators also rushed out of the Grand Canyon. Compared to the 9 secrets, life was obviously more important. At this point, Donghua, the unscrupulous Taoist, also chuckled. The perfect opportunity to fish in troubled waters had finally arrived. But he didn't seem to be in a hurry at all. He kept looking up at the entrance of the underground palace. Suddenly, the underground palace shook violently. Inside, it seemed that some powerful and ferocious creature had appeared. At this moment, Yifan frowned suspiciously. Is this really the tomb of that ancient family? He wondered. Why are there so many tombs? Cultivators gradually ran out from inside. They were all those who had lost their nerve and didn't want to take any more risks. All of them were seriously injured. Just as Donghua was about to enter, Yifan decided to retreat. He thought this place was too dangerous. At this moment, the Black Emperor also rushed out. Yifan didn't expect him to be there. His settled mind became active again. With the Black Emperor, entering the underground palace would increase their chances of success. Yifan and the Black Emperor also entered the underground palace. In order to avoid attracting attention, the Black Emperor transformed. They agreed that if they saw Donghua, they would let the Black Emperor pounce on him and bite him, and then snatch his treasures. Only Yifan could come up with such an idea. He truly deserved to be called the Dark Night Man. After arriving at the final main hall of the underground palace, Yifan sensed a trace of extreme Dao power. A great battle was obviously taking place in this hall. And on the plaque of this hall were engraved 4 large characters, Temple of Light. This seemingly peaceful place was covered with corpses. The Black Emperor even suspected that someone had chosen this place to establish a righteous path. But Yifan's words made him abandon this idea. If there really was a great emperor here, a great emperor's mausoleum, not to mention the young talents present, the entire eastern wastelands would be destroyed. Then, the knowledgeable Black Emperor also discovered the true nature of this place. This was neither a so-called Great Emperor's mausoleum nor a so-called Temple of Light, but the residence of a great emperor. Even so, as the residence of a great emperor, all the treasures here were worth fighting over for these holy sons of the sacred lands and members of the aristocratic families. Along the way, Yifan didn't see any of the outstanding younger generation elites. Instead, he saw many corpses at the 4th level of the Dao platform realm. These corpses were powerful, but they were defeated by the combined efforts of many experts. It was evident how strong these outstanding young talents were. Here, he couldn't see the most elite disciples of the sacred lands. Yifan also knew that the most valuable treasures were in the deeper purgatory. Many experts were also there. Without much hesitation, he entered the innermost area. A great battle was taking place there, and there was even the aura of an extreme Dao weapon. Undoubtedly, it was Yen Ryu who had used her family's extreme Dao earthly weapon. Everyone was fighting over a parchment scroll and a chaos stone. According to the Black Emperor, this chaos stone was the bed where the great emperor used to sleep. But when Yifan entered, he found that many holy sons were unharmed. Instead, only Yen Ryu was confronting a terrifying expert. However, the standoff didn't last long. Soon, they all displayed their techniques. The Holy Light technique of the Holy Son of the Liagong's sacred land, the invincible divine eyes of the 2 divine king physiques, Jijia and Jiangjia, the extreme speed of the golden-winged rock king, many figures displayed their magical powers, competing for the Chaos Stone and the Parchment Scroll. This was not only a competition for treasures, but also the first clash of the younger generation. Who would be the future emperor of the Eastern Wastelands? One could get a glimpse of it now. Targeted, the Golden-Winged Rock King returned to the battlefield. He had murderous intentions because Yi Fan blocked his path. But with the combined attack technique, Jin Haoyue was able to quickly approach the Chaos Stone. He was about to get his hands on it. The Golden-Winged Rock King didn't care that this insignificant Yi Fan wanted to stop Jin Haoyue. But they all underestimated the power of a great emperor. Even if the great emperor was not present, even if this was just a residence, the Chaos Stone was still not something they could covet. A mysterious light appeared. Everyone present was frozen, barely able to move a step. Even the Golden-Winged Rock King's speed was useless. He was like stuck in mire. But Yi Fan, who was far away from the Chaos Stone, was not frozen. Seeing this, the Black Emperor urged Yi Fan to snatch the Chaos Stone. After all, his cauldron of Mother Qi wouldn't reject the Chaos Stone. But Yi Fan had another thought. Should he here kill all these young talents? Indeed, Yi Fan's strength was among the top of the younger generation. He had even defeated Yao Guang, the Holy Maiden. But in terms of raw strength, it was difficult for him to compete with those present. After all, his cultivation time was too short. But now, the Chaos Stone had frozen everyone, giving him an opportunity. The Chaos Stone was indeed terrifying, but his Cauldron of Mother Qi, made from the Cauldron of Mother Qi series, was not affected by the Chaos Stone. Yi Fan, with the Cauldron of Mother Qi above his head, walked into the hall step by step. Immediately, everyone cried out in surprise. Everyone noticed Yi Fan. Although some didn't recognize him, his iconic cauldron clearly revealed his identity. Because there was only one in the world, only he possessed such a sacred object. And not everyone dared to fight for the Chaos Stone. Therefore, some disciples of the major sects were not frozen. But at this moment, they were clearly greedy for Yi Fan's cauldron. They wanted to snatch it. But who was Yi Fan? Although he might not be a match for those holy sons and holy maidens, how could these people, who didn't even have the courage to compete, be his opponents? How could those who didn't even have the courage to fight for the Chaos Stone be his match? With just one strike, the so-called disciple of the Hall of Illusion was defeated. But they were still unconvinced. If their elite disciples hadn't been frozen, how could Yi Fan have had a chance? Unexpectedly, after hearing these words, Yi Fan asked the person to point out the location of the Hall of Illusion's successor. Clearly, he had murderous intentions. However, this place was not without experts. There were still a few disciples who were a realm higher than Yi Fan. But the first person to step forward couldn't even withstand a single blow from Yi Fan. He was easily killed with a divine stone. But Yi Fan didn't relax because of this. Because there were still a few disciples from the Ji family and the Yaoguang sacred land who wanted to join forces to kill him. Each of them brought out a weapon and held it in front of their foreheads, for fear of being attacked with a divine stone. But seeing their wary looks, Yi Fan was filled with confidence. The only person he was wary of at the moment was Duanda, the shameless Taoist. So what if they attacked together? Yi Fan didn't care about them at all. He went straight to the deepest part of the hall and took the ancient scroll in front of everyone. Earlier, a disciple had yelled at Yi Fan, wanting him to give up the ancient scroll. But Yi Fan, in turn, used the lives of these successors to threaten them. Then it was Yi Fan's revenge time. Since the Golden-Winged Rock King was frozen by the Chaos Stone, he had no power to fight back against Yi Fan at this moment. He was punched repeatedly, and it was very unpleasant. The surrounding holy sons and holy maidens all changed their expressions, but no one spoke. Everyone felt a chill down their spines. At this moment, Yi Fan's attack on the Golden-Winged Rock King was undoubtedly telling everyone that he had the courage to kill them. But the Golden-Winged Rock King was still stubborn. He was unwilling to bow his head to Yi Fan, someone he looked down upon. Therefore, he was hit again by Yi Fan. This time, he fell directly onto the Chaos Stone. Seeing this, everyone present was shocked. At this moment, no one had the power to resist anymore. They were truly afraid that Yi Fan would go crazy and kill them all. He was about to kill these holy sons and holy maidens. That would be a huge disaster. And Yi Fan's next move shocked everyone even more. Seeing that Yi Fan dared to openly attack the Golden-Winged Rock King, the holy sons present were terrified after the attack. Even if they had immense power at this moment, they couldn't use it. They were afraid they would be easily killed by Yifan. Yifan walked alone in the underground palace, and no one dared to look him in the eye. However, the people present were clearly overthinking things. If Yifan could kill these people, the Golden Winged Rock King would already be dead next to the Chaos Stone. Although it couldn't control Yifan, it made his combat power insufficient. Coupled with these people's life-saving trump cards, Yifan couldn't kill him. Yifan walked through the void. When he passed by Ji Haoyue, he stopped. This made the Ji family extremely nervous. Their hearts were in their throats. But for Ziyu's sake, Yifan spared Ji Haoyue and continued to attack the Golden Winged Rock King. He truly wanted to kill the future king of the Golden Winged Rock race. As he expected, his divine power blade was neutralized, unable to kill the Golden Winged Rock King. Yifan didn't know how many punches he had thrown. His arm felt sore. The Golden Winged Rock King endured for a long time, and when Yifan was unprepared, he used a secret technique to try and kill him. Little did he know that Yifan was already prepared and calmly resolved the crisis. And he doubled down, fiercely punching and kicking the Golden Winged Rock King. If he couldn't kill him, he'd beat him up to vent his anger. But soon Yifan discovered a blind spot. His divine furnace of Li Fire could actually function there. It could draw upon the power of the Chaos Stone for his own use. So the Golden Winged Rock King was burnt to a crisp, completely blackened. Although not dead, he lost a lot of face. The moment Yifan turned around, the Holy Sons acted almost in unison. Light flickered between their eyebrows. They moved their most powerful weapons there, protecting their sea of consciousness. Yifan swept his gaze over everyone, making them somewhat nervous. Yifan's next target was Yao Guang, the Holy Sun. He knew this person was very terrifying and was determined to get his cauldron. He had gone to the Broken Cloud Mountain range and other places several times to track him down. He even suspected that the one who had slaughtered Yao Guang's Sacred Lands disciples before wasn't the old bug, but him. This made him somewhat apprehensive. He wanted Yao Guang, the Holy Sun, to learn a lesson. So Yifan directly threw Yao Guang, the Holy Sun, into the gourd. At this moment, many older generation experts from the major sacred lands arrived. But most of them were blocked by the formations Yifan had set up. It was at this time that Yifan continued to attack Yao Shi, the Holy Maiden. The people from the Yao Guang sacred land below were practically boiling. The Holy Maiden represented holiness and could not be profaned. Yao Shi also recognized Yifan as the little Taoist from the Taichu restricted area. But she was still mercilessly thrown into the divine furnace of Li Fire by Yifan. Along with Yao Guang, the Holy Sun, and the Golden Winged Rock King, she was roasted by the high temperature. Yifan continued walking, wanting to throw Ji Haoyue into the furnace as well. But thinking of Ziyu, he stopped. He wanted to wait until he broke through to the 4th level of the Dao platform realm before going to find Ji Haoyue and fight him fair and square. Finally, Yifan turned his attention to the ancient scroll. As he expected, it was one of the 9 secrets. But to Yifan's surprise, it didn't contain the cultivation method. Instead, it recorded a map and some explanations. After carefully examining it, Yifan discovered that it actually contained a map of the Purple Mountain. After the Black Emperor confirmed it, Yifan understood that this place was the residence of the shameless Great Emperor. But at this moment, the Black Emperor asked Yifan to hand over the map. He said that there would be a great calamity in that mountain. Sooner or later, something would happen. It would be better to let them scout the way first. Just then, Yan Ruyu, who had been confronting the mysterious person, finally arrived. In addition, Duanda, who had been watching from the side for a long time, also quickly made his move. It turned out that what he coveted had always been the extreme Dao weapon in Yan Ruyu's hands. Yifan took the opportunity to take out the ancient scroll. Seeing it, Duanda snatched the ancient scroll from Yifan's hand. He was like a ghost. He also laughed heartily, thinking that he had made a huge profit this time. Even though he didn't get the earthly weapon, getting an ancient scroll wasn't bad either. Duanda even had his eyes on the cauldron on Yifan's head. He was preparing to snatch it as well. But he was bitten 17 or 18 times by the Black Emperor, who was hiding inside the cauldron. He didn't know that he had been completely tricked by Yifan. To be continued. For the rest of the story, please watch the next episode.